So these past couple weekends have gotten away from me. My usual sewing time has been taken up by some photography events, which kind of pushed my productivity aside for a little bit. So last weekend I had a double header for weddings, which is when I should have been starting my next project and been cutting and all that good stuff. So instead, I'm gonna make this project be a work in progress finish. So I'll explain what it is and then we'll dive right in. It's gonna be super simple and hopefully get everything I need to done that is in this box that I'm about to show you. So a couple years ago, I made my buddy Andrew an I Spy Disney quilt, and I will hopefully find a picture and put that here. So I made this for his birthday and I had so many scraps left over, I ended up making one more already. And now this week, I'm going to go ahead and make however many more I can make from this box. I think there's at least 3 in here. So obviously I don't have a fabric pull to show you, but I can flip through some of the squares. Some of these are actually already clipped together in layouts and I just never got around to doing them because I was like, oh, it'll be an easy project. I'll just do it whenever. And it sat and sat and sat. So I'll show you a couple of them. They're just easy squares that will all sew together and make a cute little Disney I Spy quilt. Actually, I'd say little, but they're actually pretty good adult size quilt tops. So I got a bunch of whatever I could find at big box stores and Etsy and all sorts of online. My mom even did some shopping for me when she was driving and visiting my sister in another state. So I've got a collection that we didn't have just here in California, but all over the place just to get this nice even number of squares. So I went ahead, they were all about 1/4 yard because I think they are 6.5 inch squares. I had a certain size ruler that I just placed on it and fussy cut around. So obviously some of my fabrics didn't get as many squares because I had to fussy cut them in certain ways, but the end result was well worth it. What I'm gonna do, like I said, is just sew these together in their rows, and it's just a super easy block quilt. If it's kind of a smaller size, I might look into my stash back there and see if I have anything to add as like a border to make it a little bit bigger, and we'll see if I get 1 quilt done at the end of this phase or if I get 3 done or who knows what. So let's take a look at some of the squares. So like this one right off the bat is already labeled for it to be a 7 square by 9 square quilt. It says start. I guess this is my top row. Oh, that's why, because I had some other ones in here. So like I've got Monsters Inc. and Baymax. This is one of my favorites. It's actually, this one's in my 100 blocks. Lilo. We've got Little Mermaid. What else do we have in this one? Jungle Book. So I tried to find like as obscure Disney fabric as I could at the time. We've got Cars. We've got, oh, and then Mickey. Obviously Mickey prints are super easy to find. Snow White. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm also a Disney enthusiast myself, not just for my friends. Like, these are my ears in the background. I have 4 pairs of ears back there. And I really miss Disneyland. I'm ready to go again. I don't know about the rest of you. Moana. So I think I made these when Moana came out because that fabric was brand new. So that'll help date how long this project's been sitting around. Minnie Mouse, Buzz Lightyear, as usual. I've got tons of Buzz Lightyear fabric that I've been hoarding to make a quilt for myself. Olaf. And I just haven't done it yet. Incredibles. And another Buzz Lightyear. I've got lots of Buzz Lightyear fabric. And let's flip through one more stack so that you can get the gist of it. Oh, here's a good one. This isn't my next row, but we've got Phineas and Ferb. I used to not like that show when my siblings watched it, but it has since grown on me. Lady the Tramp. And Cars. And Mickey with a camera. So we're gonna get sewing these squares together and then off to a quilt top. So let's do this. Here's our look at our first finished quilt top. And now we're gonna see if we can make 2 more before the week is over. So now that 1 quilt top is done, I've got to go ahead and get the other 2 going. These ones are gonna be smaller. I don't think I'm gonna add borders underneath these now that it's this far into the first week of it. So these 2, I have a pile of 58 plus 5, I guess, and 56 plus 5. I really don't understand my notes anymore. So what I'm gonna do, so 58 plus 5 and 56 plus 5, whatever that means. I'm wondering if I had 56, cut 5 more for the last one to make that size, and then go from there. So I really don't want to buy any more fabric. So we'll see what these end up being. I know I was looking at 56. 56 is 7 by 8. So I think that's going to be my ideal size for these, because I would love to, when I go to quilt these, just get one big piece of wide back, get these on the long arm, and just do them both, do all 3 at once. So that's going to be my plan to finish them, but clearly these aren't anywhere near finished. So I've got to throw things up on the design wall and see what I might be able to come up with to get quilts done. So I got everything out, and apparently this one had 58 plus 5, which made 63, which means this created another one of the bigger tops. But then I also found something else while I was going through this stack, and let me show you what that was. We knew about this stack, we knew about the one that's up on the design wall, and look what appeared. Another stack of blocks. So will I end up having, and a stack of extras. So will I end up having 4 quilt tops? I don't know anymore. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to take the one on the wall down and clip it together and sew it up. So I thought this was going to be another small one, but I ended up finding enough blocks to put another row on the bottom, so we're at another 7 by 9. So maybe these will all end up being the same size. I'm going to clip this one up, stick in the pile, get the next one done, and then for real I'm going to be sewing blocks. Last one also turned out to be another 7 by 9. So I've got a few extra blocks left over that'll probably just hang out or be made into something small. But next time I check in with you, I'm going to have a whole bunch of quilt tops done, ready to quilt. Here we are with our finished project for the week. This is actually the second one. So this isn't Andrew's quilt that I made initially, but this is the first that I made from the leftover squares. So it's all quilted and everything. This one has a flannel back on it just because I had a whole bolt of flannel at the time. So that one's already done. And now in addition, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more quilt tops done. So this whole stack, I'm going to do the math, and then next week we're going to come back and figure out how much of a wide back I need and batting, and load this all up and get it quilted and bound, so that not only do I have 1 quilt finished this week, but I have 4 more to go with that 5th one that's already done. So we'll see you then.